Well, hello there, and welcome to this week's episode of Grow Wealthy Grooming. I am your host, River Lee. I am the founder of the Savvy Groomer, where I teach pet professionals how to figure out their profit and purpose while enjoying their passion. So I want to thank you guys for being here on Monday around 7 p.m. Let's go ahead and get into today's topic. Now, as you know, the camera's here, but I gotta switch over here. I gotta get a second monitor. We're getting there though. And turn. So today's topic is going to be about bookkeeping. Should you do paper or software? Now, it's interesting because I had taken it for granted that everyone just did. Oh, good. I just wanted to make sure that I was live in the group. Last week, I thought I was live for about 20 minutes, and then Jennifer was more than happy to text me to let me know that I was not, and I really appreciate that, Jennifer. Shout out to my peeps that let me know when things aren't perfect. Anyway, I digress. So it really shocked me once I started getting into the personal finance side, working with small business owners, not just groomers. I also have a few clients that are, they own eyelash studios, hair studios, nail studios. I really enjoy that service-based model. And whether you're a grooming salon, hair salon, nail salon, eyelash studio, you're all gonna have similar problems and quirks. That said, I was shocked at how many people are doing their business bookkeeping through paper. And so I thought it'd be great to just kind of have a short conversation about the pros and the cons, because there are good things about doing things through paper, and then there are bad things. So let's first talk about types of products. So if you're using paper, hopefully you're not literally just using like an ARC notebook or something like that. Hopefully you're not using something loose leaf like that that has no organization. You can literally go down to the dollar store. We have Ocean State Job Lot, which is probably kind of like, they're nicer than a dollar store, but they're not as nice as Walmart. They're kind of in between that. They're like the places they buy a lot of bulk of. And you can buy them for anywhere between $1 and $5. And if you can't find them there, you can generally find these books. They're bound. And you can find them at Staples. You can find them in lots of places. They're very cheap. I think the most expensive I've ever seen one was $20. And that'll have your ledger. If you guys have seen my workshop all about bookkeeping, the basics of bookkeeping, you'll know that I personally suggest doing a double entry method when you're inputting and outputting your bookkeeping. And what that basically means is that you take the money from one bucket to the other. So if I am going to buy something, let's say I take the cash bucket, I take cash from here and I put it here to buy the item. And all of this is explained in great detail in my Basics of Bookkeeping workshop, which if you are a member of Grow Wealthy Grooming business membership, you have free access to that. If you are not, you're more than welcome to join our membership or consider purchasing it individually for only $97. So with that, when you have the physical ledger, some people like to feel money. And if you've ever taken my online course, Personal Finance Unleashed, where I teach personal finance, we talk about the importance of feeling numbers and feeling money. For instance, I personally try to do my budget first on paper because I find when I'm writing the numbers, I feel the numbers more connectively. And some people are just like that. If you're the kind of person that used to take notes, even though you had a computer, or write the notes and then take other kinds of shorthand, you're going to be like that. But I really like when you guys do that. Another thing I like doing with numbers like that is when I'm talking to a coaching client, they'll often see me writing the numbers down. Part of that is because I'm dyslexic, perfectly honest. Another part of it is I feel the numbers more emotionally and more intuitively that way. So again, I know that sounds kind of crazy, but when you're writing things down, you tend to remember them. It's no different than when you go to swipe your credit card or your debit card, you don't really feel anything. You could be spending $200 and it feels like air. It feels like magic money. But if I handed you, 20s, $200 worth of 20s, and you handed it to the cashier, you would physically feel that. They actually did a study where they found that when you physically hand money over, you actually activate the pain sensors in your brain. But when you use debit or credit, you don't. So bringing that back to your bookkeeping, for some of you guys, writing that down or writing your numbers down is going to help you feel the numbers more and is going to be able to allow you to really hone in that feeling. But I will say, so that's one of the pros of writing it down. The major con with that, of course, is that requires you to be diligent and meticulous. And I love you all, but there are very few people who are that diligent and that meticulous. I can't tell you how many people wait a month, quarter, or the year to start doing their bookkeeping. And it's really hard to remember what you bought at Walmart, because at Walmart, it doesn't say exactly what the item is. It'll just have numbers and codes. It's really hard to remember what that item was. Was that for the house? Was that for this? Was it for that? It gets really hard to differentiate all of that. Also, it's a lot of handwork. We, as groomers, use our hands all day. These are our money makers. As somebody who has carpal tunnel in both of my hands, I have to be very careful with what I do with my hands every day. Because if I get a cramp, pardon me, if I get a cramp in my hand, I can't work. And if I can't work, I can't make money. So I have to be very careful with that. And if you have a larger business, and by a larger business, I mean bigger than just you. If you have employees, if you have retail, if you have anything beyond you doing 5 to 7 dogs a day, the bookkeeping is going to get easily out of control when you have physical books. I remember when I had my shop, what we would do, this is before 123 Pet integrated directly into QuickBooks. We used to have to write the numbers down. Well, it's not true. We were either going to write them down or put them right into the computer. I wanted to put them right into the computer. My receptionist was one of those people that just wanted to write everything down and then do it all at the end of the week. I think that's double work. Sometimes you're just trying to make your employees happy. I'm just going to check the comments, make sure we're all good. Hi, guys. How are you guys? Lovely to see people live. It's always very fun to have that. But anyway, back to the chaos. It's just a lot of work. It's a lot of work to physically input all of that information. And you have to be diligent and you have to be perfect. It's really hard when you're writing numbers down to remember where they're coming from. On the flip side, what are the benefits of using software? And there's 2 levels of software. There are things like just using Excel in a spreadsheet, Google Docs, or using QuickBooks or QuickBooks Online. So today I was using Excel a little bit, working with one of my coaching clients, just little things like we were inputting numbers and this and that. It was really easy to do. But I've had a lot of experience using Excel. At one point before I got QuickBooks, I used Excel to do my bookkeeping. If you are not familiar with formulas, it's a nightmare. And even then it's a nightmare because you have to customize literally everything. You have to remember where every number went. It's not very intuitive. Everything is legalistic. If you put one number wrong or there's some formula off, you're going to have to, your whole page might get messed up. It's kind of like having the one Christmas light on the string go out and you've got to figure out which light is out. And that's how I feel like Excel is for bookkeeping. Now, if you've been using Excel for 20 years and it works really well for you, that's awesome. I think that's great. Personally, I wish I was that person, but I find it really tedious and there's really no reason. QuickBooks is so much cheaper than it used to be, or at least, before you'd have to buy the CD, install it, and then it was good for kind of like a year or two, unless if things changed, then you had to download things, you had to pay to upgrade, and da-da-da. Now you pay one small monthly fee, depending upon how big your business is. Why do I always yawn? Like a little old lady. So, with that, the benefits of going to something like QuickBooks is it's incredibly intuitive. There are levels of QuickBooks Online that will connect directly to your business account. And a lot of times it'll intuitively know what you purchased and where to put it in. which can save you a lot of time. You could turn that feature off and go through everything yourself if you're going to do it. But it also makes hiring a bookkeeper incredibly cheap. I remember when a bookkeeper was never less than $100 to $300 a month, because it was a lot of work, guys. You have to remember, they'd have to get the bank statement at the end of the month. They'd have to get all your receipts, all of your, your P&L statements, your profit and loss statements, and they'd have to sit there and pore over it for hours on end. Now, with all the technology advancements, they can go ahead and a lot of it will be auto done. And all they've got to do is double check the work and make sure everything lines up. So I've seen it's not uncommon to hire a bookkeeper if you have a very small business, and we're talking solopreneur, for about $50 a month. That's not uncommon. Now, that is for a very small business. If you have multiple employees, if you have lots of things, that makes things a little bit tougher. But remember, you couldn't hire a bookkeeper. There is no bookkeeper. I would challenge you guys to find me a bookkeeper who would be willing to do bookkeeping through pen and paper. Actually, I'm sure there's somebody. But there's a reason that bookkeeping prices have gone down significantly, and it's because it requires a lot less hours and it takes a lot less skill. So it's something that you can do yourself, although honestly, for how cheap it is, it's going to cost you maybe 2 groom dogs or 1 cat to pay out somebody. Now, if you have a larger business, of course it's going to cost more because there's more things for them to keep track of. And if you're going to pay them to prepare for taxes, that's going to be a little bit more. But using your online platform like QuickBooks Online, it's going to be significantly easier. If you hand them Excel, they're going to have to triple check everything. And they've got to make sure your formulas are correct. So they're going to check your formulas. And they're going to make sure everything is right. And that has pluses and minuses, guys. Because again, if I have to pay a professional to do a job, I'd rather them just do it the first time. So the benefits, to kind of bring this all back together, the benefits of being paper is you're going to feel your numbers more. You have to physically see your numbers. Therefore, you're going to be more connected to your numbers. That is a big benefit. The downside is it's a lot of work, and it could be outsourced for a lot cheaper, and it could get sloppy very quickly. It is very hard to run a business pen and paper. It really is nowadays because everything is so interconnected. Everything is so much faster. It's just, unless if you have a very small business, it's very hard to do. And it also opens you up a lot more to liability, because if the IRS comes in and you have nothing but pen and paper, they're going to dig deeper versus if you have software. Pros and cons of doing let's start with Excel. Basically, to set, the pro is it's really cheap. Most of us have Excel. If not, if you have a Gmail account, you can just use a Google spreadsheet. It's just free. It is better personally than the pen and paper, I find, because at least then you can do formulas and you're not doing this when you're doing the math, because if you mess up one number wrong there on pen and paper, you're screwed. Versus Excel, at least it'll do some of the math for you if you're using formulas. The negative is obviously it's significantly more work than it should be, because you have to create those formulas, you have to triple check your formulas, and you have to create the whole document. And let's be honest, if you mess up one thing, it's like the string of lights for Christmas. You have to figure out where that one bulb is. And sometimes, guys, that is so hard and exhausting because you're tired, you groomed all day, you're fried, you put a number somewhere, or you went to go to this slash to divide, you did this one, so the computer's really confused, and you can't figure out where it is. That's a nightmare. So, what I'd really like to see you guys do is come into the wave of the future, sign up for QuickBooks Online. I want to say the cheapest plan is like $9. Everything's been going up with COVID, so it's probably more. It's probably like $20 a month, but still for $20 a month, That's really cheap. And then you can also alternatively and or get a bookkeeper. Now, what I do like about QuickBooks Online, and again, this is not a paid advertisement for them, it's what I like. There are other brands. I have not found one that I feel like is so intuitive and everyone uses. There's Xero, there's Harbor, there's a few other ones, but for the price point, QuickBooks just dominates. So, getting that's going to be intuitive because a lot of those you can connect right to your bank account if you choose. And then if you hire a bookkeeper, they're going to either require you to have QuickBooks Online or they're going to charge you significantly more per hour. But you know what? It would be silly to pay a bookkeeper $150 a month instead of spending $20 on the software and then paying them $50 a month. But I mean, hey, some people are very stubborn and they want to do things the way they want to do them. There's a lot of times I'm talking to a groomer, and I love the analogy someone told me. They said it's kind of like somebody who is going the wrong way, and you say, hey, we're going the wrong way. And they say, yeah, but I'm making great time. And I feel like that's sometimes with you guys with technology. And I understand trying to figure out technology. Every week I am live. You must sit here and laugh because I'm like, I have no idea what I did wrong today. I did figure out my camera today. I figured out my lights. I am sweating because there's so many lights on me because I was trying to figure out how to keep them all bright. But every week I'm trying very hard to figure out all this technology because once I get used to it, I seem to add a new one on because technology gets better and better and better. But what am I supposed to do about that? It just is what it is, right, guys? That said, it's up to you if you want to make the leap into doing online, like QuickBooks Online, if you want to go somewhere in the middle and stay with Excel or Google spreadsheets, or if you want to stay really old school and use pen and paper. I will say they all have their pluses and minuses. It really depends upon where you plan to go. We often talk about the exit strategy in your business, where you guys, because listen, all of us are going to leave our business at some point. You're either going to die, you're going to get physically ill, you're going to retire, right? I mean, at some point you have to leave your business. So guess what? That means you need to figure out what your plan is when you're no longer in your business. And doing bookkeeping properly is going to allow you to sell your business because nobody wants to buy your job. Nobody wants to buy your job. So we have to prove income beyond you because anyone purchasing your business would need to pay a groomer and pay a manager. Because they're not going to just step into your shoes and pay you to start a job. That's not how that works. No one walks into Petco and says, here's my $30,000 so I can go work for you. If they wanted to get a job, they would just go work for Petco or another groomer. They want to buy a business, which is a going concern. And part of that is you need to show money. The easiest way to do that is with proper bookkeeping. I can't tell you how many people I come into with business coaching. If they're not doing proper bookkeeping and they haven't hired someone, I say, they come to me and they say, I need to earn more money. I said, great. How much money do you need? And they say, I don't know. And then, of course, what do I say? Then how do you know you need to earn more money? If you're not keeping track of your money, then it's just going to go away from you. In your personal life, that is a budget. And in your business life, that is bookkeeping. And part of bookkeeping is having a budget for your business. And remember, a budget is not just a wish list of bills. It is making every dollar have a plan. And, with the bookkeeping, we need to make sure that we're stockpiling money, that we are earning enough money to be putting money away, especially right now. My state's going to be the first state, I believe, to close. We are we're not closing, we're pausing. First state to pause for at least 2 weeks, but they would like to do 6. So we'll see. That's going on Sunday after Thanksgiving. So the 30th. So around the 30th, we're going to close. Pause. And so having my money in order is very important. Because, for instance, I ordered 6 months worth of shampoo because I don't know what's going to happen. I ordered 6 months worth of shampoo. I'm good. Okay, but the only reason I can do that is because I have stockpiles of cash. And I know how much money is coming in to a T because I have on-point bookkeeping, which I don't do, by the way, because can I do it? Yeah, but I have more important things to do. So you really have to decide what's best for you. Those are my opinions. You can take it or leave it. You know, that's always it, guys. You don't have to take my advice. Just listen and then use it as you see fit. So let's go ahead and let's do our little normal sales pitch. So if you guys are interested in working with me, I would highly suggest you sign up for my business monthly membership. It is only $35 a month where we tackle one topic per month. And then you also get the library of other topics. November was bookkeeping basics, where we had about an hour and a half long workshop where we talked all about how to understand the basics of bookkeeping. We didn't go through everything because it's really hard to go through everything in an hour and a half. They literally have associate's degrees in that stuff. So we got a good amount done in an hour and a half. Now, if you don't want to purchase that as part of the membership, then you can always purchase it individually, and that is for sale for only $95. If you need more one-on-one help and you need someone to really shake up your business and figure out what is going on, then I would highly suggest signing up for my one-on-one coaching. That is only $9.97 a month. That gives you 4 hours that you can use that any way you want, whether that's per half hour, like some people do twice a week at a half an hour, every other week at 2 hours, or once a week for an hour. If you're like, how the hell am I going to pay for all this? No worries. I have Personal Finance Unleashed, which is my online course. It is a 12-week course that teaches you how to make your money behave. It goes over the psychology of money, how to make the money work for you, and how to get it in a position that you're going to actually start moving forward with it. It is through saving, paying off debt, wherever you are on your financial journey. I also want to let you guys know that very shortly, well, I guess very shortly is relative, but we are going to be having, after Black Friday, we're going to start offering groomer swag. I'm very excited to talk about this a little bit. We're going to be selling some really fun t-shirts and other branded things that are specifically designed for groomers, by groomers. Really fun stuff, like we've got Greedy Bitch, Snip and Hustle. We've got this great t-shirt here that says, "You think I play with dogs all day?" That's cute. So I'm really excited about all of this. We will be officially launching that as of next month. And I don't actually know if you saw any of those pictures because I don't know if I transitioned them. I don't know what I did. It is what it is. But yeah, we're going to be launching that soon. It's going to be really fun. I just want to give you guys some fun stuff to wear because, I love some groomerisms. And I wanted to get a hoodie. I said, why not just start making a whole store? Because why not, right? All right, guys. Well, it's always lovely to talk with you. If you guys need to catch me, you can always find me at my website, savvygroomer.com, Facebook. You can find me personally, River Lee, or you can also find me at facebook.com/growwealthygrooming. And where's my little, there it is. Boop. Yoop. If you haven't already, consider signing up for my free Facebook group, Savvy Pet Professionals. There, you're going to be able to network with other pet professionals that are like-minded. My goal for this Facebook group and the Savvy Groomer brand in general is to attract groomers who want more in their life. I don't care what that more is. Listen, if you want to sit at home and eat Cheetos and make money sitting at home eating Cheetos, that's cool. If you want to work 80 hours a week, I think that's not very sustainable, but I'm here for you, man. You do you. So ultimately, I'm here for you no matter what you want to do. I'm going to give you the best advice I can, and that's my goal. My goal is no matter where you are in your journey, no matter how much you can afford, there will always be help. I have so much free content here from our weekly shows, as well as in my blog. And we also have a fantastic, well, I don't want to say fantastic, but I feel like, we've got a fun community. We're getting there. We're building things up. Give it time. Yeah, guys, it was great seeing you guys, and happy grooming, guys. Oh man, see, this is the problem. I can't do it all like sneaky.